Welcome to Whispering Maples. This is going to be section 4 of my garden tour. It is late June, so we are in the summer. Things are heating up, and just want to show you how the trees are progressing. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a different angle this time, try to get a little bit better pictures on some of the front trees. But this is one called Hilliers HB, and I just got this recently. It is showing a little bit of stress in the back. I have hit this up with some Miracle-Gro, so hopefully that helps. I may have been better off putting this in a pot, and I still may decide to pull it out and put it in a pot, as it does seem that some of the smaller trees do better in pots, at least until they get progressing. This one is called Summer Days, and this one's doing really good up here. This area is going to get mostly sun, a lot of sun. May get a little bit of shade, but very heavy sun over here. All right, this one is Mystic Macala, and you can see the nice colors that you get on new growth on Mystic Macala. But it's doing really well up here. This one is ginkgo called Snow Cloud, and very similar to the other one I showed in section 3. This is supposed to give you some nice white variegation, and I'm not really seeing it, but the tree itself is doing well. And I'm just wondering if maybe later in the season we will start seeing some of that white variegation. All right, I'll show this tree once I get up top again, but do want to show it from here. This is Dr. Brown, and I absolutely love Dr. Brown. It's always giving me different colors throughout the year, but just a great tree. All right, this right here is Koi, and this thing's got an amazing shape, and it's growing like crazy. Once again, this is another one I'll show when I get up top. But doing very well. All right, this is a Moseri, and this one's going to get golden yellow in the winter. Very similar to Green Penguin. I actually do prefer Green Penguin. I think the shape is a little bit nicer on Green Penguin, but this gives you that bright yellow in the winter that you do not get with Green Penguin. All right, this one is Noel. Once again, I'll show this tree up top so we can see the leaves a little bit better. Same thing with this. This is Spring Delight. And this right here is Little Sky. And this thing is such a good tree. I always wanted to have skylines, but my garden size is limited. And this allows me to get something similar in a much smaller tree. And I'll show this one up top as well, but this is Macala X Sharps. You can see it's getting some nice new growth. All right, this one is Squiggles. All right, and this one is Twisted Sister, and it's a Larix. And I heard it does not do great in the south because of the humidity. And my other one is turned all brown, and I've got it in the recovery section. This thing looked great in the spring, but it just may not be the right tree for the southeast. I am in section or zone 7B North Georgia, so it does get pretty humid. And if this one and the other one die, I probably will not replace them. Some heucheras. This is Asayaki. And this one, I believe it's Hupsdorf. Yep, Hupsdorf. Just looks absolutely great. And I will show this once I get up top as well. This is Cohort's Icebreaker, doing really well. This one is on Firma. All right, this is kind of a neat one called Zabrina. And gives you a lot of yellows in here too. I think this is one that will get out there and get pretty big. And that's one of the reasons I do have it in a pot. All right, this is a really small Kuronijishi. It's such a great tree. You can see some of the red that you get with the new growth. And this is Goshiki Kotohime. Very similar to Hupstor. But looking forward to seeing this thing grow. All right, this is Golden Wiltoni. I've got several of these, but you can see the nice yellow that you get with this as a ground cover. This is another juniper called Blue Star. All right, here's another Squiggles. Just give you such great colors. And this right here is another Mystic Makawa. And I'll show it once I get up top, but you can see just great growth on this thing, and it's doing really well here. All right, let me show you the top of this Mystic Makawa. And before I continue with this section, I'm going to walk back over to section 3. I shot a video the other day and I realized I left 3 trees out, so I just want to get those on video. All right, this right here is the lily pad, looking really good. And you can see the different variegation that this thing gets. In some ways similar to Kryptonite, but this one is going to get more wide. Just a very good Makawa type. And this is Benny Chaparretto. And you can see the really nice red new growth that I'm getting on this one. And I can't believe I left this one out because this is such a good tree. This is Tanima no Yuki. And you'll see, it's giving me a lot of that white variegation. And the only issue I've had on this one is right up here, I get a little bit dieback. And I'm still debating whether I should just clip that top piece off. So if you have a lot of experience with conifers, and especially this one, please comment and let me know what your thoughts are. Should I go ahead and clip off the top right here or just let it be? All right, let's go back to section 4. All right, this right here is going to be a Winter's Columnar Red. You can see it's a lot of new growth. It's growing. I've pruned this back a little bit, just trying to make sure I keep it narrow. Let me show you how nice the red is on the new growth. From my experience, this one does not hold the reds quite as good as Twombly's. And if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely choose Twombly's. But it's still a very good tree. This right here is Piccolo. All right, this right here is Hot Tamale. And it's green, but I've said it before, I think this is the most heat tolerant of all the heat seekers. You can see it's not really giving me any burn at all. And right next to it, I've got Hot Blonde. And Hot Blonde is giving me some amazing colors. And look at that, just so nice. But when you get up top, you will see a little bit more burn on this one. And I've mentioned this in previous videos. I know this is a heat seeker, it's very sun tolerant, but from my experience, the hot blondes do burn the first few years you have them. All right, this right here is Jerry Schwartz. And this is such a good tree as well. Love the shape, love the leaves. It has also greened up quite a bit, but you can see all the nice color you get on the new growth. Okay. This one right here is Shayna. And this one also has greened up quite a bit, but you will see how nice the red is on the new growth. And then you see the center lobe, how it's short and wider, which tells you it's a broom. Got some nice coral bell there. This right here is called Push, and this is supposed to give me some nice colored cones, but I haven't seen it quite yet. All right, this right here is Phoenix, and this one is pretty much just green at this point, but this did have such an amazing red color in the spring, and it's got some nice color on the tips right there. But this is another one that is eating up the sun, no issues. All right, this one right here is such a great tree. It's called Gold Cascade, and I'm not sure you're really getting to see the color quite as good in a video, but this has such a unique color. It's like a golden yellow and just kind of pops in the garden. This right here is Kurohime, which is also greened up quite a bit, but you can see how nice the new growth is, the reds. And this one actually held its color quite a bit longer than I had expected. All right, this is Hedgehog. And this right here is Chantilly Lace. I'm hoping I'm showing these leaves good. It's just so bright that it's hard to see exactly on my phone. But this is popping a lot of color on the new growth. All right, and this is the Kurenai Jishi that I showed earlier. Here's that same Zabrina. I'm trying to show you some of the yellows. Let's see. Yeah, it's not really picking up on the phone as much as you can see in real life, but it's got pops of yellow throughout. This right here is Wakehurst Pink. And I know from last year this thing gets some amazing colors when it shoots out the new growth. And last year I actually let it shoot out, enjoyed the new colors, and then I pruned it back, trying to keep it as small as possible. All right, this one is called Winter Gold. And this is another one that's going to get very yellow come winter. All right, we'll work our way around here. This is called Philippe's Tearful. And it had browned up, but I was able to prune a lot of that off, and it's doing really well now. All right, this is a great one called Feelin' Blue. And I'm gonna let it swoop down over the ledge. Okay. All right, this one is a Lillian's Jewel. And I'll do this one up top as well, but I wanted to make sure I got some of that new growth. All right, this one is called a Vercurve. It's kind of unique, the needles on this one. Got a very nice tree. All right, this one is Lima Gold, and it's not doing great. It's okay. All right, I'll do this one from up top too, but this is called Monticello Gardens. And this one holds its color really well, and it does great in the winter, or I'm sorry, I meant in the sun. You see some pretty nice leaves. Another golden wool Tony behind it. All right, and this right here, it's got such a nice shape. It's Catalina Yatsubutsa. This right here is a Muga pine called Color Island. And this will give you some yellows, but right now it's just green, but still looking good. All right, here's the Monticello garden from above. And you can see all this new growth and how nice the colors are. You can see how bright that is. And this right here is Moonrise. And it's pretty much green at this point, but I know from last year this thing's going to start putting on a show. It's just a matter of time. And this is another one that burned up quite a bit the first couple years in the ground, but even last year I could tell it was not burning like it had in previous years. I think it's probably my third year with this tree. Bought this as, I think, a small 1 gallon from Mr. Maple. Got a nice heuchera there. And this one is called Lily Pulton. It's very similar to Rezic, but you get a lot of purples. And the purples are not showing right now. It's greened up, but from my experience, this one seems to be growing a lot quicker than the Rezics. So I've got 2 Rezics, and I got this, and they're all similar size, and this is by far the tallest one. So interested and can't wait to see that grow. All right, this one is called Angel Falls, and it's doing really well. Okay, this right here is Usuguma. I'm gonna just trim this up a little bit, but you're seeing a little bit of variegation, but for the most part it's pretty much just green at this point, but it's doing well, and you can see some variegation right there. This one is called Fouquet. And I've always been a big fan of Fouquet because it gives you a lot of those yellows in the needles. All right, this right here is a sea urchin, doing really well. All right, and this is a Shishigashira, and it's doing absolutely wonderful here. And I actually got this one as a free tree from Conifer Kingdom. Conifer Kingdom can be sometimes more expensive, but the more you spend, and they give you like a free tree. And I obviously spent a decent amount that day and was able to get this. But such a good tree. I've got two of these, and the other one I think I got is Pikes before I knew about Mr. Maple and some of the online locations and stores, but such a good tree. All right, this one is called Gold Coin, and I'm still trying to figure out where to put this thing. It's definitely getting some burn on the leaves, but I may just give it more time. And if you have Gold Coin and have any recommendations on where you keep it, please put that in the comments. All right, this one right here is Meiku Jaku Dancing Peacock. And this is another one that the first couple years it burned up a little bit, but it has adjusted. I've got two of these, and they're both very similar in sizes, and they're both in pretty much full sun. May get a little shade, like right now it's got some shade, but it's gonna get sunny in this area later during the day. But such a good tree, and this is going to give you such amazing fall colors. All right, this one right here is called Catherine Elizabeth. This one is called War Bonnet. This is Dixie Delight. And this is a nice coral bark. Got a Marmalade. And this is such a good tree. I mean, some of the colors you get on Marmalade you just don't see on any other tree. And you can see the Meiku Jaku from this side. All right, this one is called Kinpo. And this right here is Bronze Age. And this one, for the most part, has greened up, but such a good tree. I was getting some really nice colors on this earlier this year. The leaves are healthy and it's doing well. And this is a great conifer called White Horse. And you can see it's got really cool, nice size cones. You can see there's quite a few of them. Here's the Shishigashira from the other side. Same with the Usagumo. And this one is Edisberry. It's another coral bark, and this is actually the tree that I won at the Mr. Maple open house costume party last Halloween. All right, this one is Goyoko Shohime. All right, this right here is Orion, and you can see to this side it's got a lot of new growth, and this new growth is such an amazing color. And you see it's got a lot of new growth. This thing's really grown. All right, this one is Lemon Flare. And this is Bihu right here. And I've got two Bihus, and to be honest with you, I haven't been overly impressed with this one. I just have other coral bells, or I mean, not coral bells, but coral barks that I think are just do a lot better. All right, and this is that Lillian's Jewel from the top. Let me get this side so you can see. It's got some really nice variegation throughout. And this right here is Red Panda. And the Red Pandas seem to grow really good. I've got one in the front that is so big. But I'm probably a few weeks late on showing this one as far as some of the reds popping, but you can see a little bit. And here's that Feeling Blue from behind. Right here, this is Mosary. Right by Stowe Pillar. And then you can see Fire Chief. And I've got a few of the Fire Chiefs, and this is definitely the one that's doing the best. And it could be because it's getting the most sun. All right, this right here is Beniotaki. And this one has greened up quite a bit, but still looking good. And you can see that Orion from the front. All right, this one is called Lucretia. And I got this at an open house, and I tried to find it on the Mr. Maple site, but I couldn't find anything on it. But I liked how it looked, so I decided just to go ahead and grab it, which I tend to do quite a bit. This is Winter Orange, another coral bark. Right now the bark is just kind of gray. All right, this one right here is Allen's Gold. And you can see some new growth on it. I actually just pruned this and got, well, actually, I did not prune this. I'm just getting this mixed up with something else. But you can see it is getting a little bit of burn up top. So I'm hoping it becomes a little bit more sun tolerant as it ages. All right, this one right here is Mason's Comet. All right, and this is another Larix that I just gotten recently from the Mr. Maple open house, but this is called Walter Dingan. And so far this is doing better than the Twisted Sister. And then this is Fire Glow. And it holds, to me, it holds the color much better than Bloodgood, but not quite as good as Emperor One. But it's still a great tree. You can see the colors are pretty nice. And then if I get into the new growth, let me make this smaller. You can see it's got amazing new growth colors, and it's growing quite a bit. But just a great tree. All right, this right here is Nathan. And this is one that has definitely impressed. It's given me great colors throughout the season so far. And even now that it's greened up quite a bit, it's still giving you different colors. You still see the maroon purple tipping. All right, and this one right here is Summer Gold. And you'll see it's got some great colors, but this one is definitely burning. And I think this is another one that's gonna get more sun tolerant as it gets older. But it still gives you some nice colors. All right, this one's a tongue twister. It's Argentea spicata. All right, this one is another coral bark called Sir Damon. And this one really gets some highlighter red on the bark come the winter. But it's another one that seems like it's getting some burn, not too bad. And then you can see the new colors for the new growth. It's pretty nice. All right, and this one is called, let me verify, I think it's a Little Red. Yep, Little Red. And you can see it's another broom based on that center lobe. Giving me some decent colors. And this is Hime Goyomatsu. Get it from this side. This is a great looking conifer. And let me verify what this one is. This one is called Victor. You can see it's got some nice color. It's lighting up pretty good. And this is Japanese Sunrise. And this is the one that I actually pruned up quite a bit today. You can see where I pruned it on a few areas. It was shooting out. I'm trying to get this thing to grow taller and not wider for now, just because of the space limitations in the garden. But this one gets some really nice coral bark colors in the winter. All right, this one is a Chief Joseph, and it has rebounded quite nice. This is one that's going to get probably brighter yellow than anything else in your garden come winter time, but then what winds up happening is the needles end up burning and falling off. But it has grown back really nice. And I think this one is Donna's Rainbow. Let me see. Yep, Donna's Rainbow. Also giving you that nice blue in the garden. Some more coral bells. This is a Thunderhead doing really good here. Alright, this one is Carson's Winter Gold. And you can still see a little bit of yellow, but for the most part, this is greened up. And this is another one's gonna get such bright yellow come winter time. one down here. Another golden Wiltoni, nice ground cover. You can see the Carson's Winter Gold from the front. And this is a ginkgo called American. And then I'll show you the Fire Glow from the front, and you can see up top how it does glow. Yeah, just a great tree. All right, this one is Mikazuki. And you can see a little bit of red on the new growth down below. But just a very good tree. Okay, let me show this Hupp's Dwarf from up here. Really nice colors on the new growth. And this one is Mama Fu. And this one's not doing a whole lot right now. I've got two of these. The other one's showing is a little bit older and showing a lot more of the variegation, but Mama Fu is a great tree. And what's nice is this is actually one that can go in full sun. And it's just a pendula. All right, this one is called Asayaka. It's going to give you unbelievable fall color. But right now, as you can see, it's just green, but you can see it's eating up that sun. No burn on this at all. And this is, like I said, going to give you some amazing fall colors. And then a coral bell below it. All right, this right here is Kristen Star. And it's getting some burn, but the colors on this thing are just so amazing. Yeah, if you don't have Kristen Star, it is one I definitely put as a must-have. I think I've got 3 or 4 of these. And you can see it's growing really nice. And behind it is Orange Flame, which is huge. And let me see if I can show you down here. You can see how big this trunk is. It's huge. I'm actually going to get this thing dug up this winter. This is probably, I would say, 8 to 10 feet tall. And you can see all the new growth this thing is getting. And it's easily 6 to 7 feet wide. And I'm going to put it in a pot, and I'm gonna probably sell it. So if anyone's looking for a large Orange Flame, ping me, because this one will be available. I'm just waiting to dig it up once it's dormant. All right, this one is Farnsburg. And then right here, I dug up a bunch of these lilies and potted them all throughout the garden. And they are doing absolutely wonderful in a pot. Okay, and the reason I'm moving this Orange Flame, it's not that it's not a great tree, and I'll show the leaves a little bit better in a second, but the reason I'm doing it is I've got this Kristen Star that needs more space, and then behind it I've got Germain's Gyration, and this one needs space, and I'll show that in a second. But here's the Orange Flame, and you can see it's in full sun, eats it up. You get no burn whatsoever. And it was giving me some new, some really nice colors on the new growth not that long ago, but you can see a little bit there. But I just waited too long to shoot a video on it. But it's still a very good tree. All right, this one is another umbrella pine called Osorio Gold. And I just pruned this top area off because, let me see if I can find it. It's just so bright. Yeah, right there I pruned it off because it seemed like I was getting some dieback. And right down here, is a really small tattoo, but it's doing well and it's growing. I've got another small hedgehog. Right there, I've got golden spreader. And this thing gives you some amazing yellow colors. And then I've got this Germain's gyration. And this is another one that just eats up the sun and it's doing so well. All right. And this is a Van Essen Gold. And this another one's doing really good. This had such amazing colors earlier this year. And but it's in the sun. As you can see, the leaves are looking great. You're not seeing any burn whatsoever. And I actually pruned this a good bit just a little bit ago because I'm trying to keep it from getting too wide. I want it to go up in the air more based on what's around it. All right, this right here is a Jama Sanaga, and it's pretty much greened up at this point, but this is such a great tree. I've had so many amazing colors this year with this tree so far. So I'm looking forward to see what it does in the fall. And then I'll show you that Van Essen Gold, just such a good looking tree. And this right here is Lulu, doing really good. And you can see it's starting to get me some cones. But yeah, Lulu is just an awesome tree. All right. And this one right here is Skeeter's Broom. And you can see the nice new growth. And it's funny because I'd mentioned this before. I always thought of Skeeter's Broom as being kind of tall and narrow. And I have one in the back that's short. And it's just really never done anything. And then all of a sudden I get this. And then the other one starts to show out. So I'll show that on another video. But on the other one, I'm starting to get some nice growth and some really nice colors. And here's one that I definitely want to show off. This is Chiromi Janome. And I mean, just look how good this thing is looking. And I'm hoping it picks up in the pictures, but this gives you such yellows within the green. And then you see like right there, it gives you that like golden eye. And I say it every time, but anyone that says you cannot grow conifers in the southeast, that is not true. I'm fairly honest about my trees, and I'll let you know if anything's struggling, kind of like that Twisted Sister was struggling. But for the most part, you'll see all my conifers are doing great. All right, this is Van Den Ecker, and this is supposed to get really big and stay narrow. And this is Black Lace. It's such a good tree. I've mentioned before, to me, Black Lace stays a lot darker than Black Hole, and I'll show you a Black Hole in just a little bit. But you'll see this one's a lot darker. I love both trees, but if I had to pick one, I would most likely go with Black Lace. In fact, I know I would. But yeah, it's such a great tree. All right, right here, I just put this here, but this is Firecracker. I've got two of these, and the other one's is red everywhere. So I'm hoping as this thing grows, it'll get more red. I had it in the back, and I think I had it in too much shade, so I wanted to move it to sun, so that's why it's back here. All right, this one right here is Nano Abeni. It's giving me some nice colors on the new growth. It had some nice spring colors, but I know some people will compare it to Mila, and to me, Mila's a lot nicer. It's at a whole other level than Nano Abeni, but that's just my opinion. All right, this one is a Watnog, and for the most part has greened up, but you will see some of that new growth is popping some nice reds. And then I'll show from this angle the orange flame again. And like I said, if you are interested in a large orange flame, hit me up, because I'm just waiting for it to get dormant before I dig it up, but it'll definitely be dug up. All right, this one right here is called Elkins Dwarf, and it is doing fabulous here. And this one right here is Geisha Gone Wild, and you'll see the reds of the new growth, and otherwise it has greened up with a lot of the white. And I've got Shiraz, which I showed recently in another video, which does have, I think, a little bit more pink, but I think that one's getting a little bit more shade than this one, and it's a much bigger tree, but such a good tree. And this one right here is Ladybug, and doing really good. Like I said, this one's in full sun and it's doing great. So this is an interesting one. This is Yellow Threads, and this is one I got because when I went to the open house, it was during the fall, and I was blown away with the fall colors on this thing. And I don't recall it. It probably did it last year. I just was so busy trying to get my garden done. I didn't get to enjoy the trees like I did this year, but you'll see that new growth. It's funny because the leaves are different color. They're red and they're a lot wider, but they will become thinner. But Yellow Threads is such a great tree. And then I'll show this right next to it is I purposely wanted to place it next to Kodo no Ito. And even here you'll see on some of the new growth, the leaves are just a lot wider, but they will get narrow once again. But Kodo no Ito is a great tree as well. This is Globosa. And the reason I think the conifers are so important is it does a few things. One, it gives you winter interest so that when your other trees lose its leaves, you still have something. And a lot of the conifers, they're going to turn bright yellow, so it gives you some additional colors in the garden during the summer, plus even during during the winter. But even during the summer now, you just don't have any Japanese maples that are going to give you colors like this. All right, let's walk down here. I showed this earlier, but I just want to show you again just how great Little Sky is. And this is the squiggles from up top. And this is Makawa X Sharps. I said I'd show you some of the leaves up top. Here's that Elkins Dwarf again. And this is Spring Delight. You can see some of the really nice colors you get on the new growth. And then during the spring, you're going to get some nice borders on this as well. But just a very good tree. All right, this is Noel, and this thing, I've always been a big fan of Noel because you can see, even when summer, you're getting some different colors throughout the leaf. Got some nice new growth there. Here's the Moserai. Right there is a Mayday. You can see the Yellow Threads from the front. And which one is this one? Himi Goyo Matsu. All right, this is the Koi, and this shape is just so cool. You can see a lot of new growth on this thing. It is really doing well. And here's the Dr. Brown that I said I would show from up top. And you can see all the new growth. And this thing changes colors throughout the season. All right, I'm gonna show this from here and then from top as well. But this is Mila, and you can just see the new colors up top and how it grows. And you'll see as well, it's staying fairly narrow going up, but then gives you some amazing shape up top as it goes out. And look at that. And it's consistent on all the new growth. And during the beginning of the season, this thing had such amazing colors. I'll walk back here so you can see it from behind. But yeah, such a great tree, Mila. All right, this one is Sherwood Elfin. And this one has held its color up until recent. But even now you can see it's got a lot of that maroon around the green. And you can see it's holding, it's not burning that much. Such a great tree. All right, this is Mystic Makawa, and you can see some of the new colors this thing gets. There's that Summer Days again. All right, this one is called Niagara Falls. And I didn't realize how big this thing is going to eventually get, so I may have to move it at some point. But I saw some really big ones at a local nursery called Pikes that looked absolutely amazing. But it's doing really well there. Right here, you got Bazinga. And I was lucky to, fortunate to get another Bazinga at the last open house. So I've got that one in more sun. This one does get a good bit of shade because of the crepe myrtle behind it. But I'll compare it. I may end up moving this. Another Heuchera. And this is called King's Gold. And let me show you, this is the black hole that I mentioned. As you can see, compared to the black lace, and when I walk up, I'll show you the black lace right after this so you can compare it. But you can see in full sun, this is greened up quite a bit compared to the black hole. But the tree itself is doing well. And it was dark earlier this season, but it has greened up. And I'm just gonna go straight to that black lace so you can compare it. Okay, so this is the black lace. And as you can tell, it is definitely holding its color way better than the black hole. All right, last few trees to look at. Here's Furcaeus jacuspatis. Such a great tree. It's doing great in full sun, and you'll see it's got some really nice new growth colors. And I know this one's going to put on a show. It's just a matter of time. All right, last two trees. This is English lace. Well, actually, let me do this tree first. This is Shushidari. And it's pretty much greened up, but just absolutely, this is a tree I thought about for a while, and I saw this one at open house and just loved the shape of it. So decided to grab it. All right, this one is Divinely Blue. It's got some really nice colors. And then last, I'm going to show you this English lace, and then I'm going to take you back to my other English lace. But you can see this one is getting a lot of sun, and it is red. I told them those reds are really good. English lace is such a good tree. All right, then if I take you to The other one, which is getting a good bit of shade, it does get some sun, but just not full sun. You can see it's green. So I just wanted to show that where you put the tree will affect the color. But once again, this was section 4 of the garden. I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please leave those. I do my best to try to answer every question. If you have any recommendations on different videos, please leave that. I will definitely take those into consideration. And I'll just show you this again. Right there, you can just see that Mila just popping with all that new color. So hope you like the video. Have a great day.